My number one priority is making housing more affordable for everybody. In the $100,000 to $250,000 home market, we're seeing the greatest restriction in choice in the housing market, and it's making all the homes more expensive, not just ones in those bands. The city, through policy and decisions on the city commission, are artificially restricting the housing market in that sector. And what we've got to do is adopt pro-housing policies and pro-housing decisions. By the way, the price of homes don't just affect home buyers and renters and developers. It also affects our non-for-profits like Tenants to Homeowners and Habitat for Humanity, who are trying to work within the market to provide housing for those that need it the most. I was on the Planning Commission during Plan 2040 adoption, and we spent a lot of time talking about that. I was one of a few commissioners who spoke out against that specific policy every time it was brought up. I do think artificially restricting where the city can expand through adopting policies that mandate higher costs to developers is going to increase the cost of homes. Again, that's not going to hurt the people who can afford it the most. It's going to hurt the people who can afford it the least. I've spoken with a lot of home builders and members of the Affordable Housing Advisory Board who agree that that specific policy is going to hurt home building in Lawrence. The city's role in anything is to adopt policies that encourage. Adopt policies that encourage and make decisions that encourage. We have to assess every single policy that we adopt, specifically with opening businesses or rezoning for industrial land or commercial land, whatever those decisions are. We have to look at those through the critical lens of, is this going to assist someone in opening a business and bringing primary jobs into Lawrence, or is this going to hurt someone from doing those things? I speak to a lot of business owners, and one of the most stressful parts of opening a business is going to City Hall, and it shouldn't be that way. City Hall should be one of the things on the list that's the least stressful. So this 2020 budget is an example of some of the short-sighted decisions that our current city commission has made. The chamber advocates for the same things that the people of Lawrence want. Good paying primary jobs, a diverse economic landscape, bringing more technologically savvy businesses into town. These are the things that the chamber advocates for us. You could have found $20,000 in just the increase of city commissioner pay, and you still could have increased city commissioner pay. There's a lot of problems with the 2020 budget. There's a lot of challenges ahead, certainly, and I think one of the ways that we can improve the 2020 budget and the 2021 and beyond budgets is by electing city leaders who understand the full landscape, understand all the assessments and fees and things that we ask of our taxpayers, of our tax base, and make decisions with real leadership in mind. I get this question a lot: what qualifies you to be a city commissioner? I'm sure nothing really truly prepares me or qualifies me for what I'm hopefully about getting ready to do, but I've been following Lawrence City politics since about 2004. It's on my deployments. It was one of the Lawrence Journal World was one of the few web pages that would load on overseas deployed internet, so I could get my news fix and see what was happening in the community. I've been on the Planning Commission for 4 years, and that has really prepared me very well. There have been several planning commissioners that I've served alongside that have demonstrated the right way to interact with the public, the right way to conduct meetings, the right way to consider these issues where values really collide. I don't feel that everyone on the City Commission does the same. I think I could bring a lot greater experience I think I could bring a greater base of experience to the City Commission over some of the other candidates and even over one of the incumbents as well. Participation in the political process is something that everyone who has served on a board or a city commission feels firsthand. If you're not ready for that, if you don't prepare yourself for that, then you're not going to be as effective as you could be. But leadership doesn't start and stop on the dais in the city chambers. Leadership, and to be an effective city leader, city elected official, or even an appointed official, means that the bulk of the time you're listening with real curiosity, listening to people's perspectives, listening to the concerns, not listening to counterpunch or argue or anything like that, but really trying to figure out what is the value that they hold most dear. And what I find is, even just being on the Planning Commission, and you'd be surprised how many conversations I have about planning and zoning issues with friends. I guess we're pretty boring that way. The value that we all hold dear is that we all love Lawrence, and that we all want Lawrence to be better in the ways where it can be better, and not lose the things that make us fall in love with it. When you realize that that's where the passion comes from, it makes it pretty easy to hear the arguments about one issue or the other.